Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forest coming to you with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the British Pound USD. But before we get started to break down this currency pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice, but we all know why you're here. We want to find good, credible Forex content to help improve one's ability as a trader and to help put a little extra money in your pocket. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and break down this currency pair. All right. So before we get to talking, before we talk about technical analysis, let's talk about what's physically going. Let's talk about the fundamentals. Okay. So over the night last night, we had some poor economic news come out about the British pound. Was not too good. And it's still remaining one of our weaker currencies because of the poor economic news that just came out. Also coupled with that, with the inflation that's hanging over the British economy, also coupled with the fact of its major trading partners in the EU is also suffering from inflation. Also coupled with the fact that there's a destabilization of the entire European economy due to the war that's being fought in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. So we have all that precipitating factors that's also making it weak. Okay. Now, as we stated in previous videos about the USD, that the USD does have a dark cloud of inflation hanging over it, but we're going to have to see how the increased interest rate, which is the economic policy they put in place to help try to decrease the inflation, is going to combat that inflation. But until we can start to see some results of that, even though it is technically classified as one of the stronger currencies heading to this trading day, I will still look at it as overall weak because I have to see how this interest rate is actually increasing interest rate is actually going to play out with the currency. Okay, so now that we got that stated, let's go ahead and break down what's going on. So as you can see, we were dropping for a very, very long time since uh, right around the Ukrainian incident started. We've been dropping, 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 dropping. Okay, then we had some retracements up, and then now the selling pressure is back on. Okay, remember, like I said in previous videos, charts are not unilateral. They just don't go up. They just don't go down. They go up. They go down. They go up. They go down. So what we're having here is some retracement. So, like I said, we could get as high as, let's see, we did get as high as here. So, what may start happening now is that we may start to range out before we continue to go back down. Okay, because this was our retracement period here, and then as we can see, very, very large selling pressure came into play. Okay. So there's a strong possibility we may just continue to range out here before we continue to start to go back down. Okay. Now, can this fundamentally change over? Yes, it can. But the only way that can happen is if there's a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. The collective countries that make up it, the EU, simultaneously all fix the inflationary problems, and so does Great Britain. Now, that's a lot to happen at one time for it to be a price changeover. So basically, what you're seeing right here is retracement. Okay, and because what you're seeing right here is human psychology, because the price shot up here before, because it shot up here last time, everybody's placing a buy, and a lot of people who just solely trade technical analysis and is ignoring this big red candle like it's not standing here. It actually means something. It means that the sellers have not left. Okay, so we may get up to right here, range out, then continue to go down. Now, can it be price turnover, in which price will start to turn over and start going towards the long side? Yeah, it can, but like I said, the fundamentals have to be in that favor for that to happen, which means there's a lot of government bureaucracy that has to happen to change economic policy to push price in that direction. But for the most part, we're looking like we're going to range out in this area here before we start to go down. Okay. Now, this range is probably going to happen throughout today, the rest of the May, and the trading sessions going into the latter part of this trading week and the beginning of next week, and we'll probably start to see it start to go down sometime around next week. Okay? Hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.